And they get into it. They get into the fact that articles started coming out that Michael would look tired at a game. And then an article would come out that he had been in Atlantic City the night before. Like, he looked tired during a Knicks game. And the Bulls hadn't won. And an article had come out that he'd been in Atlantic City until 2:30 in the morning the night before. So how could he be concentrating on his basketball game? A guy put a book out that said that Michael, just to him alone, lost $1.5 million betting on golf games. $1.5 million worth of golf games. Everybody had a story about Michael Jordan gambling. But it was this episode and it was this season that people started talking about the fact that it was a problem. People started describing Jordan's gambling habit as a problem. He, in previous episodes, had talked about how the day before a playoff game, he would be extra mad at an opponent because he had just been out with the opponent's friend and the opponent's friend had beat him in a golf game and had taken Jordan's money. And Jordan got pissed. Some of the players on the plane, some of his co-Bulls on the plane with him were saying that all the whales like Jordan would be in the back of the plane just to pass the time betting thousands of dollars on single hands. And, you know, the nudniks at the front of the plane would be playing blackjack at $1 a hand. And Michael would be back there playing $1,000 hands of whatever they were playing. And then he'd walk up to the front of the plane and he'd start wanting to get into the dollar hand games. And they go, Michael, what do you want to play with us for? We're not going to raise the stakes for you. Like, what do you want to play $1 a hand for? And he goes, because I want your money in my pocket too. That's the disease. And he goes, it's not a gambling problem. I'm just competitive. And I'm like, Michael, there are lots of people that are competitive. They don't have to put money on the line. When you're sitting there, you don't want to sit there and say, well, I want to know that I can beat you at blackjack. You want to get that guy's money in your pocket. That's where it's gambling. That's where it becomes a thing. So the media started going crazy on him. They started posting articles every day. Books started coming out. It all started happening around him, and he took a 2-week hiatus from talking to the media. Just brilliant. You know, it does boggle my mind that the NBA just allows reporters to go after every single basketball game. I can't imagine how annoyed I'd be if I just did something athletic better than anybody in the world can do it. And I get a minute to myself after the game, but I only get a minute because there's a mountain of reporters that are going to scream questions at me and then are going to try to trip me up so they can sell some newspapers based on something stupid that I said right after a game. It would drive me insane. But that's the life of every basketball player. It's the life of every professional athlete. And Michael was no different. However, he decided to stop talking to the media for 2 weeks because they all kept telling him that he was a gambling addict. He said, I'm not talking to any of them. And I'm going to send any questions you have for me, you just ask my dad. So his dad would handle all of his media for him because he didn't want to talk about his gambling anymore. He said, I don't have a problem with gambling. He said, I haven't destroyed my life, obviously. I'm doing great. I like to gamble. That's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And the media was like, well, we'd really like to talk about it because this book says that you are dropping $1.5 million in golf to this one dude, and you're not denying it. And he goes, no, but I make a ton of money. So what do you want from me? So he sends his dad to do all his interviews for him for a couple weeks. Finally, he realizes he can't keep it up. He gets Ahmad Rashad, big basketball reporter at the time, and he goes, hey, man, you got a camera? I want to do this interview with you. Let's just do it right now. And Ahmad Rashad goes, that sounds great to me, Michael. And they go to a corner of the arena. They find a little room somewhere, and they do this interview about Michael's gambling and whatnot. And this is what Michael looks like for the interview. The whole time. In your public address to the people, this is the one time I'm going to talk about this. This is the one time I'm going to convince you that I don't have a problem. You decide to wear sunglasses in a dark room. When you care about a person, and they're like, look, I'm going to tell you once and for all, I don't have a problem. I'm going to look at you right in the eyes. I can't tell if you're looking at me right in the eyes. You got big dark sunglasses on in this black room. Okay, well, just trust me. I'm looking at you right in the eyes. He decided to do the whole interview wearing sunglasses. He didn't do it. I was looking at his interviews. There's many, many interviews that he wasn't wearing sunglasses for. Wearing sunglasses during interviews was not a staple of Michael Jordan. But he decided that for his gambling interview, he's going to put sunglasses on, which left everybody completely unsatisfied with anything to come from the interview. But this is some of what he said. This was the actual interview.
I just felt that it was unfair that I was being considered a criminal for doing something that is not illegal. Gambling is legal, and betting is legal.
Oh.
For what I bet, yeah, it's a little bit more than I wanted to lose.
Right.
I mean, I didn't bet to lose, but I lost it, and I paid.
Who likes to lose? Who likes to lose? You know, you can always tell when somebody doesn't have a problem when they go, well, is it illegal? And you go, no, it's not illegal. Okay, then. I don't have a problem. A guy wearing sunglasses letting you know that the thing that he's doing is not illegal is not exactly, it doesn't squash my fears, shall we say. If I talk to a big fat person and I'm like, hey, did you eat a ton of food from McDonald's yesterday? And they go, is it illegal to eat a ton of food from McDonald's yesterday? I would say, no, big giant fat person. It's not illegal to eat a ton of food from McDonald's yesterday. But it'll still kill you. Well, if it'll kill me, that sounds like murder. And murder is illegal, so probably not, buddy. Anyway, you're fogging up my sunglasses. Like, tell me if this sounds convincing, right? Hey, guys, I just wanted to let you know that I don't have a problem. I'm not doing anything illegal, so you don't have to worry about me. I think you guys would still worry about me, quite frankly. I don't think you guys would leave it alone after that.
Paid off all my debts. I didn't want to go to NBC or anyone else and let them know, hey, I lost $500,000. I'm going to pay it this. I'm going to pay it that way. You know, I thought.
John Doe says you would wear sunglasses during an interview, too, if you were as rich as he is. He's way richer now. He does the whole documentary with no sunglasses on. All he does in this thing is get interviewed, and he's never wearing sunglasses, and he's way richer now than he was then. Do you have any idea how many times he's resold the exact pair of shoes since 1997? It's absurd.
I was taking care of what my responsibilities were, and I lost.
Yeah.
My family's not starving. My wife, if I had a problem, would have left me, or certainly would have came to me and said, hey, seek help. My family, my mother and father, who we're close-knit people.
Right.
And they have monitored me from when I was a kid, when I was born, up until where I am now. And if I ever had a problem, they never had a problem telling me that I had a problem. So
same problem again. I do love that MJ, it's either on or off. Either he's the greatest or it's not worth doing. Either the problem is so bad that I lose my house, my wife, and my children, or it's not a problem. You know what I mean? What's the line? What's the line from hobby to problem? Well, a hobby is something that you do and you don't lose your entire life. A problem is something that requires everything in your life to go away. This hasn't happened to me, so I feel fine. Look, I think Michael might have had a gambling problem. I would say that no matter how much money you make, if your hobby, if you are making a lot, if you're Jeff Bezos, and you're like, one of the things that I like to do is I like to take $1.5 million and I like to put it on a charcoal grill and I like to watch it burn. I go, Jeff, you've got a problem. And he go, I haven't lost my house. I go, no, Jeff Bezos, you haven't lost your house, but you're burning $1.5 million on a grill. Don't do that. It's a total waste of your money. You shouldn't do that. Michael's like, look, I'm trying to get my mind off basketball. He says that he was not out in Atlantic City until 2:30 in the morning. He said he was out until like midnight. He was home by midnight, 12:30 maybe. Which, okay. Look, at the end of the day, the beauty of being an athlete is as long as you go out on the court and you perform well, nobody should be able to say anything to you. And Michael Jordan always could. Michael Jackson always could too. But Michael Jackson stuff, he's like, look, the stuff that I'm doing, it's not illegal. And they're like, Michael Jackson, the stuff that you're doing is 100% illegal. Okay, well then I'm not doing it. Michael Jordan, he didn't break any laws, and he still won championships. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the relationship that he set up. I'll tell you what, I'll be the greatest of all time if you get off my back, unless I'm not the greatest. Okay, if you're not the greatest, then I'm going to call you on your bullshit. Okay, but he's the greatest, so we don't get to call him. I think that's just the relationship that we have with MJ. I would say there's levels to problems. Michael Jordan does not have a catastrophic life-risking problem. But, you know, if you get corona and you don't die from it, it still sucks that you had corona. It would suck worse if you died from it. But you're like, I have a problem right now. I have corona. Are you going to die? No, I don't think so. But it is a problem. Okay. Yeah, no, it is a problem. You should stay in the basement for a while. Quarantine yourself. Chris Cuomo it up for a bit. But, no, you're not one of the people whose bodies are being thrown onto U-Haul trucks. You're right. It's not as big of a problem. But Michael would gamble with anybody. You know, we were talking last week about how Michael completely injected himself into meme culture, and he was, I believe, doubling down on it with his facial expressions on last week's episode. Well, he may have been usurped. Michael had his own private security team, and he would hang out with these guys. He had his own area in the locker room. I don't know if it was specifically Michael Jordan's locker room or if this was just like a small office that nobody used and everybody kind of knew that's where Michael hung out when he didn't want to deal with everybody else. I would get that. But he had his security team with him all the time. And this guy's a hero. This guy just took Michael Jordan's crown. Last week I said Michael Jordan is the Michael Jordan of memes. I think Michael Jordan's mullet permed security guard may be the Michael Jordan of memes. He and Michael were playing quarters at $20 a turn. Michael wanted his money so bad. He said, I'll give you 4 tries to my 1. The guy goes, I'll take that. And Michael goes, but you got to put your 20 down now. He goes, you can't see my try. You got to put your 20 down now. I don't even really know how quarters works. But to be fair, I don't even really know how basketball works. But he puts his 20 down. MJ throws his quarter. Seems happy with the result. But this guy, perm mullet, doesn't take him 4 tries. In 1 try, he beats Michael and he takes that $20. Now, Michael is still jovial about it. Michael's having a good time with him. But Michael wasn't one for gentlemen's bets. This guy was a hero last night. Took Jordan's crown. Jordan's probably pissed right now. Jordan likes to be the winner of everything that he does. And now he's got to sit there and realize that the internet may love this man today even more than they love Michael Jordan facial expressions.